baby. I got the pen. Here we go with another episode of the Going Over podcast. I just woke the fuck up thanks to big Paul over there. Spoiled his introduction. It is I, your neighborhood friendly coach, trainer, promoter, and 44-year-old professional wrestler, Zack Primetime Reeb. As always, joined by my podcast partner, the 6 feet, 12 inches of the wrecking ball, Paul Isadora. And we once again have our boy, the Big Ugly from the Ugly Dojo. What is up, everybody?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Just waking up from my 15-minute power nap.
Sometimes those 15-minute power naps are the best ones, man.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Feel like so many times I'm riding home with Larry, and he's just, hey, we got to stop at such and such. I'm gonna take a quick 15-minute nap, then I'll be ready to get all the way home to Yarrington.
Larry with the arthritis. What's up, Larry with the arthritis over there? I'm gonna wrestle strangers in a circus queen-size motel room bed, and I'm undefeated, by the way. We're there, guys. WrestleMania weekend. Night 1, night 2. Ugly, do you have any preference? I heard that on night 2, on Sunday, we're opening up with Oba Femi and fucking Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I figured that would be first because Brock probably wants to get the fuck out of there. He doesn't like to be there long. But no, I'm actually looking forward to seeing that one. Main reason being is because I don't understand what the fuck WWE's doing with their booking sometimes. So common sense would say you put Oba Femi over because he's the future of what they're doing. But Brock's a legit fucking badass. So what do? And then with the way they're booking shit, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, everybody's expecting it to be a short match. I couldn't even tell you what I think they're gonna do with it because I just don't know what the fuck they're doing over there.
I heard Big E. Big E was talking. He said, "Man, Brock's been in so many of those pull aparts," and they were talking about Oba Femi, how over he is right now, but how he's just not batting a fucking eyelash. Like he looks like he belongs there against Lesnar, and I've been watching it week after week, and I'm like, dude, this motherfucker is over, man.
Yeah, I think the main problem I see them running into is they put him over on Brock, then what are they going to do with him now? Like, they can't have him just wrestling mid-card anymore. He's beat like one of the baddest men in the business. So what do they put him in there with Punk right away or fucking Roman Reigns? Like, what do they do with him now? Like, after Brock, it doesn't get much bigger than that. So where do they go? What are they going to do? He can't just keep squashing people. They got to do something with them. So are they going to put him up to the top that quick, or what the fuck's going to happen?
I don't know, man. It's that thing we like to talk about, the rocket up the ass. What do you think about the rocket up the ass? Have you seen any Oba Femi there, Paul?
I mean, obviously, I've just seen the clips of the pull aparts, and like you said, it looks like he's unfazed, right? He belongs in this scenario, and there's no fear, right? But to Ugly's point, so what do you do if you put this guy over? Where do you go from there? You think, we talk about telling long-term story all the time, but what do you do in that situation? But at the same time, we always talk about WrestleMania is the end of the season, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to start all over from scratch the Monday night after WrestleMania is over. So, maybe there's we're starting from scratch on Monday, and who knows what happens. You can't expect people to just forget, though, if he does go over.
Yeah.
I sat through AEW Dynamite tonight. Darby Allin won the fucking world championship from MJF with the headlock takeover. He paid him back on that from when he did that fucking a year or two ago. But that was the most horrendous It just horrendous show I've ever had to follow in my life. I watched Will Ospreay and a guy named Hechichero have what I'm going to refer to. They were live in the middle of a non-wrestling classic, man. It was just, I saw Thekla and this girl named Windsor cutting the promo from the stands. The best part about it is there's this little kid, this little bug-eyed kid who couldn't have been more than 8, 9 years old. And then there was this lady with her child right there. And she's calling them bitches and cussing. And I'm just like the whole time there's this bug-eyed kid right next to her, like, you fucking bitches. And the kid's just like right here on screen. I don't know. I know, Ugly, I hear you talk all the time that you don't watch much of the product. We all are old and we catch up. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call us old. We're all aging like a fine wine, and we catch a lot of these clips online because we actually have a lot of shit going on. When I thought about that, I'm like, man, you sent me that message last night, and you were at the school and you got some new students, and that's kind of what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Is we're so caught up in the business, and guys like us are traveling. Where have just kind of spill it to us? Like, what do you do on an average week that goes on in the life of professional wrestling for you?
I mean, man, until just recently, I would go to my night job, which is here on Sunday night, get up, head to the gym, 6 a.m., go to the gym, be at my day job at 8. So I work my day job 8 to 2. Then I'd head over to towards the Arden area and start doing my flyering and meeting businesses and trying to get stuff put together to hang up flyers and stuff. And then go straight to the school. That would go pretty much that straight schedule till Thursday. And then Thursday after I got off work is the first time I'd be home since Sunday afternoon. And then that's when I would do my laundry, my meal prep, and then get ready for shows in the weekend. And now that I'm kind of on a full schedule of wrestling again, it's Friday's a show, Saturday's a show, and sometimes even Sunday. If I'm not wrestling, Bishop's wrestling somewhere. So it's going and doing that or just supporting my students. But it's pretty much it's nonstop. But as of last week, I left my day job for a lot of reasons. But so my schedule's changed a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much been it, man. When I do get to watch some wrestling, it's usually just clips. Like if SmackDown or Raw comes on, one video will come up on my algorithm, and then the whole show will just eventually come up. So I just watched quick highlights or whatever, and that's about it. I mean, I don't get to watch much. Or what generally happens is I'll hear somebody talk about like Hichitaro or Hichiro, whatever his name is, and I'll say, okay, well, let me look this guy up because everybody's talking about him, and then I'll watch some of his stuff. You know, he's a big submission guy, and I like submission wrestling. But yeah, I don't get to watch full episodes of shows, and I really don't want to. A lot of it is just bullshit. You know, the 20-minute entrances and 14 fucking backstage promos for a 3-minute match, or you know, I'm hearing Raw has like 4 matches on it now. You know, and I just, you know what, like whatever, man. Like I have to watch my students wrestle, and then I always go back and watch the old stuff that I like, and I don't have time to watch a lot of the new shit, you know. I don't say shit, but some of the new stuff, you know.
Well, I thought what I saw tonight was shit. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, there's a billionaire. I mean, that's what blows my mind sometimes about this is there's a billionaire. The other company. And there's no balance in the middle of what you're getting. You're like, I'm getting too much story, not enough wrestling. I'm getting too much wrestling, not enough story. And I'm just watching this shit and I'm going, who the fuck is running this? You know what I mean? Like, that's really what I'm thinking sometimes when I'm watching. I'm like, who actually said action on this fucking promo? And then when it was over, was like, hey, you know what, guys? Great job. Let's go ahead and air that. Or is this shit pre-tape, or are they actually doing a lot of this shit live? Because I saw, god damn, I saw Stephanie Vaquer hit what's her name, Liv Morgan from behind while she was talking to the other girl, and she hit her so hard from behind you could hear their skulls fucking clack together.
Mhm.
and then she's got this fucking goose egg.
Not, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah. It's
I
like a
said-
meme now.
That's got to be a first in professional wrestling that one person with one blow sent two superstars into concussion protocol. Then she threw her into the fucking TV. You know what I mean? It was like Liv Morgan was probably like, what's going on? That was the best. I'm gonna throw you into a fucking plasma flat screen I've ever seen. Because the other girl rolled out. What's the other girl's name? Roxanne.
Roxanne Perez, yeah.
Oh my God, she got fucking destroyed. It's like someone needs to tell Stephanie Vaquer, like, hey, right here.
Yeah.
Did no one let her know that somebody was like she attacked her like a fucking freight train?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I'm like, was this live? Did they not tell Stephanie? I mean, Liv Morgan that somebody was coming in on a fucking shoot behind her. She was like, "Oh wham wham," and I was like, "Oh my." What?
Yeah.
What is your guys' what is your take on, like, we're 2 weeks before WrestleMania, the fucking world championship is on the line, and this fucking girl comes in and just like a Japanese fucking speed train, just what are the odds of two birds with one fucking stone like that? I was like,
I thought you were going to use the phrase that I would always hear Ugly saying to Kratos. Say, hey, brother, did anyone tell you this is a work?
Oh, yeah. I always tell Jared that. I said, dude, nobody fucking clued you in. It's a work, dude.
Jesus.
Well, a lot of the stuff with like the AEW stuff mainly is I was talking to kids about the other day. Like, to me, it's like AEW is what would happen if you let your students run PCW or I let my students run the dojo and I wasn't around. They know what to do, but they would start being, well, this would be funny. Well, this will pop the boys. Well, let's do this because we can get away with this. And I'd have fucking Lo Devereaux in a blonde wig walking around doing some bullshit because they think it's funny, you know? And that's what I think AEW, there's nobody in charge. There's no like quality control. And that's what a lot of companies always, not my company mainly, they'll say, well, Ugly tries to control everything too much. I said, yeah, because if I don't, you're going to have a bunch of shitheads fucking around. You know, like we have an aesthetic of what we want, and it's not it's not ha-has. You know, it's okay to have funny stuff on your shows, but your show can't be a joke. You know, and that's what I think AEW became. They let the inmates run the prison. You know, and Tony Khan didn't have enough balls to say he didn't. I don't say enough balls. He just didn't know. He's never a wrestler. You know, like they could have easily probably got, who's the old guy? Used to be with We Are the People.
Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel. It's a fucking great mind for wrestling. They could have paid him to come in and do that. Fucking when Kevin Sullivan was alive, like there's a bunch of people who could have unfucked all that stuff, you know, but they let the young guys, he wanted to win the young guys over, so he gave them a lot of freedom. And you can't give young guys freedom in this business because they don't understand. You know, they like that's what the beauty of the WWE was before is the old guard wouldn't let the younger people fuck around. You know, it's like you have your place and this is what you do in this business. Then it became everybody has feelings and we care about your emotions and you need some quality time off to reflect. No, motherfucker, it's the business, you know. And like not to harp on Rhea Ripley, but she's lost a lot of weight. So she came out saying she has an eating disorder. And I'm like, okay, obviously you need to take care of that. But I'm like, that's something that you wouldn't bring up years ago and let the public know, you know, like now the public is in these guys' lives. So it's like nothing's believable anymore, you know, and nothing matters because the people know it's all fake. And so why should the wrestlers care? It's a fucking joke. It's a joke to them, you know. That's just the way I see it. I see a lot of the AEW, like the times I've been there, guys are just fucking around, you know, joking around. And it's just, the inmates run the asylum, man. You know.
Oh, 100%. You know, I was talking to Sergio today. We were watching some of Limelight, and I was saying, man, a lot of people nowadays, like they'll make an initial great sell, Like a lot of these new guys, though, bam, super kick. Man, that was a hell of a sell you gave me for that super kick. But then what I've noticed is they're afraid to continue to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what I mean? Like they're afraid to. So everybody like, and the initial blast of a move nowadays, because I've been watching everywhere and everything, is great. But then 30 to 40 seconds later, they feel like they need to get back up on their feet and just rush back into the fray. And I'm noticing when things get cluttered and clusterfucked, obviously they're rushing, but what's really going on is these guys have a great initial. These young guys have a great initial sell, but they're afraid to continue to sell.
Mm-hmm. They got to get to the next. They got to get to the next move. They can't, man. Like, why sell? If you sell, you can't get all your shit in. You know, you got to get my shit in.
I think that's exactly, and I feel like that's the direction that a lot of stuff goes. Is you're thinking about what's going to happen next, right? Or it's going to be your opportunity to get some offense in. So all of a sudden now you stop selling, or and I don't know if people, they take it too seriously when you say, hey, don't die out there, right? Don't be dead. Don't be selling face down into the mat, things like that. It's like, there's got to be a happy medium in the middle where you can properly sell somebody's stuff and still not die at the same time. It doesn't have to be, you use a super kick as an example, and maybe that does put you down or whatever. But when it's less, when it's just you taking the heat or whatever, you can definitely sell down. And I know Zack likes to use the analogy of pulling yourself up the ropes, right? You're trying to get yourself back to your feet, and you're still selling, but you're still showing that you've got some fight left in you. So there needs to be a good happy medium in there somewhere.
Yeah, the proper selling's a lost art. One thing that I see on the indies now, and not a lot of people pick on it, but I do, is the guys will do their bump and feed, right? So they'll come in, they'll take a clothesline, take a back elbow, and then they get up and then try to throw a clothesline back. And I'm like, you just took 2 fucking offensive moves, and now you have enough fucking wherewithal to counter with something. And generally, their response is, "Well, I had to feed my back to him because he had to do some spot from the back." I said, "Well, then just take your fucking bump and sell back this way, stagger back, and then take your fucking move." But you don't take a bump, and then you come back with the fucking clothesline like the other 2 moves didn't even mean shit anymore. And that's one of the things I tell my students. And when they're doing their practice matches, we'll fucking stop. And you can start back in the beginning because you fucked up. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. But it's done a lot. It's done a lot now, and it's because these guys just don't think about the selling part of it. They just want to get to that fucking last move or the big spot, or like how many matches nowadays do you see with the double down? Every fucking match has a double down now. We don't have to you don't have to have a fucking double down. Like your match 1, we don't have to fucking do a double down. You could end in a roll up, like it's a flash pin. Like the selling part of wrestling's gone, man. It's just gone because it's all about hitting the big move, big sell, and then we're back on our feet, going to the next spot. And it's just like you just killed all that shit. And then the funny thing is now when I tell kids that, they're the way they interpret it is like, well, you're just old and out of shape, so you can't go. No, motherfucker, it's just the way it's supposed to be. Like, yes, I'm out of shape, but I mean, fuck, it's just psychology, man. And so, yeah, it's just, they see this shit on TV and then they try to copy it. And that's the problem. They're just mimicking what they see on TV. And as great as Will Ospreay is, like, you can't be Will Ospreay, like he worked Titus and I thought it was a great match. But some of the stuff they do is like, dude, that's just way too much, way too much shit going on, and the young guys try to copy that. I'm like, dude, you're not ready to do all that shit,
Well, that's the crazy part to me is like, you're not gonna, no matter if you are a high flyer, no matter if you're influenced by that guy, are you really gonna be as good as that guy at that? Because you're not gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, Ricochet, he was the guy for a while. And then here comes this incredible guy that he's working in Japan, Osprey, and it looks like a fucking cartoon fight scene going on like that. Remember that spot that they did where they both did the double and they Dragon Ball Z shit, but it still works because I hit you with brass knuckles. I kicked Paul with a fucking 20-pound boot. We were all down in Winnemucca for that. I hit Paul with one chair shot. And these things that we're doing that these young guys don't, they're like, oh, you're old, or it doesn't work like that anymore. How come we keep doing it?
Mm-hmm. And it works. Yeah.
And it works. And people remember it. Like Paul's daughters, I'm going to say it every program till I get all 5 of them in the ring kicking the shit out of me for real, or get them in there training with Paul to kick the shit out of me, because I'm going to slip on the banana peel. I'll show my ass every day of the week. But they remember that shot I hit on Paul with the chair, one shot. His daughter literally, one of his other daughters had to take a chair in Urington from the other daughter because I hit Paul so hard with one chair shot. They're getting closer to the ring, Ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of his kids they're back here. Now they're getting closer. Now they have a weapon in their hand. Now when I'm walking back into the building limping because I'm old as shit, they're going, even his wife, there was all 5 daughters and his wife, and they're like, hey, prime time. And they're doing this, and the show's over. And then they're like, have fun hobbling back to Yuba City. I hope it's miserable. And I'm like, guys, you just gave me a Gatorade 2 months ago before the show. Now you don't talk to me and you literally want to kill me. And it's because they're suspending their belief. Yeah. This is called live entertainment, not because we're out there live, but the coolest part about wrestling, and this is what I love about it, is we're literally waiting for the audience to cue something at us so we can give them what they want in whatever order, whatever place we are in the body of this match. It's like, okay, I'm in the heat now. Okay, buddy, if I hit you with a big clothesline and you sell it initially for 30 seconds and then you stop, I can't get any heat.
Yeah.
I can't get no heat. You can't get no fucking sympathy. Where do you think this is going to go? Because at the end of the day, none of us are going to get over and none of us are going to make any money. And there's going to be no fucking increase of attendance in our audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were up in Portland this weekend, and Jules wrestled Tim. They put them together because they're my students, so they, wanted them to have a good match, I guess. Of course, they went in there and had a great match. So I guess afterwards, some shit happened. But anyways, the announcer messaged me today. He's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that, during the show, some of the fans wanted to take a picture with your guy, Jules, and Jules wouldn't come out of the locker room. And he's like, so, I just think, he needs by, and just like kind of talking shit, right? And I was like, well, yeah, he's a fucking heel. He's a heel. Why does he want to come out and take pictures with the fucking fans? I go, we don't do that. We're fucking heels. And then he mesmerized like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we're trying to play the part. The fans may fucking like him because he's a new guy and he's a good wrestler, but he's still trying to be that fucking asshole that they want to boo. And I told the guy, next month when he goes back, they're going to be pissed off because he wouldn't take a picture with them, and they're going to fucking boo his ass. I go, that's how you get your heat and become a heel. You stay in character, Don't fucking go out there. We all want to sell a T-shirt to make a little extra money and sell fucking 8x10s, but fuck, man, like that extra $20 ain't going to make or break my fucking week. I'd rather have the heat, I'd rather have that fucking heat. And if you're good at what you do, you get paid for being a good heel anyways. But, they're new, and the guy, he understands now, but I was thinking like, damn, this is how this business has became, where everybody thinks we've got to be nice to people, dude. Like, no, we're supposed to be, at least we're supposed to not be accessible. We're not supposed to be working our match and then going sitting in the fucking audience. We're not supposed to be accessible like that, but that's how it is nowadays because everybody wants to be liked, and there's not a lot of real heels. When you look at all these companies, There's kids playing heels, but you don't believe them. They're just they're just playing a fucking heel. They're just playing a character. Like when I see you come out, I'm like, yeah, Zack looks like a fucking prick. He comes out with Blakesley. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're garnishing heat. It's fucking working, But some guys they want to be the cool heels. They want to do all the dirty shit, but be liked, and that's just. It just be one of those guys that you just get a match and then fucking go home. Like, you're killing your baby face if you have a lot of fans and you're a heel. Like you're supposed to be so hated they want to see the baby face kick your ass, not just watch you wrestle, But that's, like I said, it's a lost art.
Well, you said it. You said it right there. A lot of people, I keep saying it, but a lot of people talk the talk, man. I see it everywhere I go. Everyone's just, this is how the match is going to go. This is how I almost refer to it as like armchair quarterbacking. You know what I mean? Armchair booking. It's like you got the guy who's never coached in his life. You got the guy who's never been in the ring. Even if he has, he's never executed. And I always say, you can't go out there and execute. And I don't mean you got to go out there and put on a fucking a clinic in the ring. I think I told Sergio today, I said, you know what? I'm going to quit giving you shit for being a bad bumper. I'm going to quit because the audience doesn't know you're a bad bumper.
Yeah.
But what he's doing is he's selling the entire time. His sell continues. So he's actually getting his opponent over and making the motherfucker, because not only is he creating heat towards himself, but it's the execution of what we're doing. You as the promoter, Paul as the promoter, come to me and say, Zack, this is what I want to get over tonight. Me as the professional, I have to accommodate what you guys want.
Yeah.
Because I've agreed to do this. I'm a professional. You're in charge. It's your show. And you said, Zack, this is what I want from you tonight. So I have to go out there, and my job as a professional is to execute what you want to see. And if I can do what you want better than you imagined it happening, then that is why I'm a professional, and that's why I go out there and I do my job, and that's how I'm going to get more work. And a lot of these motherfuckers, man, they go out there and they go in to actual business that's what they're doing, is they're going into business for themselves. Because I've heard you countless times tell people, quit fucking talking and making jokes when you're in the middle of a fucking match.
Yeah.
And for some reason they keep doing it, and they keep doing it because when they do it, the audience does react to what they're doing. But it's your product, and you're telling these guys, don't do that.
Yeah.
But they're doing it because they are getting a little reaction from the crowd. And it's like, that's the reaction they're getting. They're not getting the proper reaction.
Yeah.
So they're doing what you don't want them to do because that's the only reaction they can fucking get.
Yeah. No, I've had to tell these guys, Kuzo was one of them, right? For about 6-7 shows, I kept telling them, dude, stopping the action to make a fucking joke. Like it's supposed to be an athletic contest. In a street fight, you wouldn't stop to say something funny, And finally, I wanted to show. I told him, if you do that again, you're gone. I'm never going to hire you again. And then he stopped, because he was like, yeah, he's going to fire me, But I'm like, dude, it's like, first off, not only is it my product, but you're killing what we're doing. Like, it's one thing to say something. I always tell people, like, if you watch like a Rick Rude or Flair in their matches, they'll do something that is funny, but it looks organic. It's not like they're stopping the action to crack a joke, And like, if that's the case and you're a heel, why wouldn't I just attack you? If I'm a baby, why wouldn't I just shoot your legs or something like that? If you're stopping and turning around and telling people to shut up, why wouldn't I just go waist lock you in fucking Germany or something? Why would I stop so you can get over? But the guys, they haven't had to work with professionals that won't let them do that, And when they start working with guys who are like, shut up, you're taking my heat away, and start getting lit up, then they'll, oh fuck, okay, I get what he's saying now, But it's just one of these things. Like a lot of the guys, they mistake when you say tell a story, for I'm going to talk to the fans and tell them what I'm doing right now, instead of showing them with my body, with my my emotions and stuff like that. They just would rather tell them, I'm going to kick him in the ass right now. Like, why didn't you just go do it? Like, why didn't you just lock him and fucking do it? And it's just like I said, there's a difference between showing ass and stopping the action to be funny, and a lot of guys just don't get that yet. And it's because, my opinion, not enough vets are telling them, don't do that, So I'm the prick that does that to these guys. They're like, oh, he just takes this shit too serious. No, I don't take it. I mean, I guess I do take it serious, but I just take it the way it's supposed to be presented. It's supposed to be presented a certain way. If you want to do funny things and make the business a joke, go to fucking High Spots and buy a ring and open up your own fucking company. There's plenty of fucking venues out there where you can run companies. Do it there, but not on my show. I just don't want my product like that.
Yeah. Logic. Ollie tells me all the time, logic. Paul, what is your thought? We're over here just rambling away, and I see you smiling away. I know damn well you're a multitasker, and I know you got what's on your mind right now?
Oh no, I just know that there's definitely a disconnect, and we talk about this very frequently, that there's a disconnect from what you're telling people as a promoter and the way that they perceive that. They think when you say tell a story, oh, well, I know what he means. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to talk to the fans and I'm going to tell them what's going on and stuff like that. And I think we sometimes get caught in that, where we don't feel like, oh, I need to walk these guys through exactly what I want to see step by step, so they know exactly what you're expecting when you're telling them to do something. They may perceive it a little bit differently and think, oh, well, this is what he means, when you definitely mean something completely different. But it's I don't know. It's just one of those deals, man. That's why we do this podcast, is that we want people to learn what exactly is supposed to be going on, rather than the perception of what we see. And obviously the perception is reality when we go out there, when we watch these matches, and things that irritate us are still happening, and we have to make those corrections where we go, hey guys, that's not what I want. This is what I wanted. Instead of us just laying it out from the get-go, step by step, and go, hey, this is exactly what I want to see. And maybe giving examples of, hey, this is how I think you should accomplish this. So, I think, maybe some of the older guys are also partially to blame, because we expect everyone to see the business the same way that we do, because we think, oh, it's pretty clear that this is the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly told me, he said something to me last night, and I'm gonna have him explain it. But remember what you tell me? They think it's easy.
Yeah,
they think this is easy, right?
Well, it's because they've watched it for so long, and it's like a content creator. They can tell you how this should be, how this promo should have went, why Raw was so bad, and why the booking is so bad, but they have nothing to go off of other than they were a mark for the last 20 fucking years, and they've been fooled by what's going on. So now they think they know, but there's so much more that goes into it. But because they're fans of it, they think it's easy. Like I used to love watching basketball. All right. I couldn't fucking play for shit. I could play horse because I just stand there and throw a fucking ball, bounce it off the wall and shit. But I couldn't play. I couldn't be in there running up and down the fucking court, with people. But I used to love basketball. I'm not going to sit there and fucking criticize the Kings for being shit. Like it's just, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know anything about basketball other than I used to like the Lakers years ago, So, but a lot of people, they just watch it and think that, oh, I know so much about it. I can tell you who won WrestleMania 3's first match, and I'm just like, it's so much more goes on to it, man, that people don't realize. I always tell people, like, when they want to work for me, if they send me a video, I'll say, okay, well, send me curtain to curtain, or if they want me to watch the match that I'll watch it right when they walk through that curtain. And if two things happen, they're a babyface, they come through and say, let's go. Or if they're a heel and they come out and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, it's off. I stop watching it. Because that tells me everything right there is that you can't get over playing your fucking character the right way. Like Bishop does that now. He'll say, let's go, because he knows it fucking pisses me off. But generally, you watch him come to the curtain, he's a heel. He just stands there and looks. And right away, the people know, like, oh, he's not wanting me to cheer for him. He's a fucking asshole. But it's just with the simple look, you know. And Titus is the same way. Salem was the same way. You should be able to walk through that curtain. The people should know if they're going to cheer you or boo you right away. And these guys don't. They want to sit there and be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, dude, that's such cheap heat. So that tells me everything else you're going to do in the match is going to be an eye gouge, a low blow, a fucking throat thrust, a fucking every cheap heel thing you've ever saw in your life. You're going to do that because that's what you think a heel is, you know? And when I'm working with these new kids, I tell them what makes somebody a heel. Oh, they're dirty, they cheat. No, that doesn't make them a heel. What makes them a heel is they have to do that to gain the advantage. Like Al Perez is a great example of it. I always told my students Al Perez, he would hardly ever cheat. He would go in there, he's just an asshole. But when he had to, he would roll him up and grab the tights, or he would do something, you know, the low blow. But it was done last resort. He was getting out wrestled, so he had to do that to gain the advantage. Now people just think I'm a heel, so that means I can throat thrust, I can eye gouge, I low blow all the time. That's not what it means, you know. And it just gets me that that's how people think the business is, you know. And I tell my referees, if you see somebody do a low blow, ring the fucking bell, the match is over. You know, I said, now, if it's something we're working on with the ref's distracted and it's planned, it's different. But if you sit there and watch somebody do a low blow, fucking match is over. Or I tell my refs, like Bree knows as well, if somebody's choking 3 fucking times and they don't break it, fucking ring the bell. You've told them 3 times. If you keep doing that shit, you lose your authority, you know, and then we're fucking fake. But these guys think that that's what a heel does. Like, it's not, you know, you cheat because you have to, not because you want to. You know, but that's just what I was saying about what these people think it's easy because they kind of see it or they watch it, but they don't understand what they're doing. And then I tell people this: if I'm a heel and I match one and I do everything a fucking heel does, what does the rest of the heels have to do on the card? The fans have already seen every cheating thing possible. You know, they've already been told, "Fuck your mother" 20 times. You know, like there's not much more heat you can get. You know, from the doing the same shit. You know, so. It's just people but not even people on the outside, but just young people in the business. They have their favorite guy, and that's what they think it's supposed to be like. And it's just like, you're not Ric Flair. You know, you don't need to mule kick a bunch of fucking times. You know, that was kind of became Ric Flair's gimmick, was the mule kick. You know, the low blow. But it's just like I said, you say these guys think it's easy because they kind of watched it and I saw a heel cheat this way. That's what I have to do now. No, it's not what you have to do now, you know. And it just, like I said, it just bastardizes what we do, you know. And not enough people are telling them don't do it, in my opinion, you know.
Well, we don't want to get caught. That's the thing I always try to tell people is, since I've become a bad guy as I've gotten older, my goal when I'm in there on the fly is how many things can I get away with where the referee doesn't see it, but I let the audience see it clear as day. Like I feel a good heel should be able to bend the rules in front of the referee, but it should have his view obstructed. But the audience, it's like I was trying to tell the guys the other day, I said, hey, when I'm cheating or I'm doing something, I'm not really doing this to gain the advantage in a competitive wrestling match. I want the fans to be able to see this, because if they don't see it, then it didn't fucking happen. I need you in the right position. I need the ref in the right position. Sometimes it is a fucking mess, man. It is more work than it should be required with some of these referees.
Oh god, yeah.
Holy shit, man. If you can get a Chico Lopez or a Sparky Ballard, like when I met Bree, I was like, well, damn, she's great, right? And then I wanted her to ref my match at the NorCal United.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect Tim to hit me with, like, he high crotched me with the double wrist lock takeover. And I wasn't gonna tap. I was gonna verbally give up. But the way he had me, and he had his legs around me, his cock in my head and everything, and I couldn't verbally give up, or I would have been giving him the old Ultimate Warrior and the test of strength to Hogan. You know what I mean? I've been like, oh yeah, Timmy. And I'm in this fucking blowjob position, so I can't nod my head and sell. So, and all I have is just a little space to tap and fucking Bree's over here.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, oh, she did a great job. Bree's great, but I'm over here and I'm really caught in this fucking thing where I can't even, like, she has to come around to see me, but she's on this side doing this, and I'm tapping, and everyone in the crowd yelling, he's tapping. And Bree kind of looks around, and I kind of glance a little bit up at her, and I'm like, I'm fucking tapping. And she goes, oh, he's tapping. And I'm like, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, these referees are so fucking important. And the managerial role, holy shit, is that a lost art?
Yeah.
I love it when I can be a manager. I managed for Paul and Bad News in Winnemucca, and man, I was having a blast out there. He came running after me when I had the boot on, and that thing like really fucked up my walking. So here's this 7-foot guy coming after me, and I'm like really hot, and I'm like looking behind me, and I'm like, and that's how you caught up to me, is because I stopped for a second and looked around, and instead of trying to move faster, I looked at you and went. And then I turned back around and it gave you the ground to catch up to me, to get your fucking hands on me. And we talk about it. Show your ass, man.
Yeah.
Show your ass. I love I love watching your blogs, Ugly, because the one where you put me over for not trying to combat with you when you hit me with the throwing shit through the screen, I was like, because when you nailed me with that, you called me a freckled face cartoon, and I looked at you and I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna eat me alive right here. Like I knew that wasn't the end. You know what I mean? When you're like, hey, you little freckled face cartoon, and in my head I went, oh fuck. I'm like, that's his opening line. I'm like, he's gonna fucking murder me with something right here. And you did. You're like, it looks like you were standing on the other side of a screen door and someone threw shit through it. And I was like, fuck. All right, eat that.
That's the beauty with doing a promo with somebody who gets it, because like I knew you weren't going to respond back to that, because why would you? You know, like you just have to eat it. You just have to eat it. And so you do promo with somebody else who doesn't get it. They're trying to fire back, and they're going to talk about me being old or my ears or something like that. And then I got to respond because I'm going to save my face, you know. And it just becomes a WWE promo where these guys are just fucking insulting each other the whole fucking time, you know, instead of the heel taking the fucking low road, you know. And I've had to eat shit a lot of times in promos. Working Flacco in a promo, dude, I've had to fucking just sit there and bite it like, this motherfucker, dude. Like, you know, but that's one of the things when we're talking about these guys think it's easy. They think like a promo that it's just fucking insulting each other. And it's that, you know, that kind of became popular with the DX thing, DX and The Rock, and then CM Punk, and those guys started just burying the guy they were working. But, you know, back in the day, like, you built the guy up. You know, you built the baby face up, and even the heel, you would build the baby face up, you know, to at least look like a threat. Now it's just like, what can we say that is kind of true, or people thinking, whose wife can we talk about, or dog died or whatever, that fucking we can throw in this promo that's already out there in social media that can make this seem real. I mean, we know it's not fucking real, but it's just, that's what the promos have become now, just insult. So it's like,
yeah,
if I'm a man and you're a man and we're talking shit to each other, I say something about your wife or you say something about this, we're just gonna start swinging. We're not gonna sit there and put it down while you rebuttal and then you rebuttal to me. At some point, you're like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." We gotta start fighting. But now these guys just have these fucking one-liner offs, you know, and it's like, dude, we just want to see you guys fight. You know, like, we just want to get to the fucking chase. But there's a certain population that wants to see the insults and hear the insults at each other, and just at some point, like, no matter how much we know Roman Reigns and CM Punk are going to bash each other, we know it's a work, and we know the match is going to be good anyways. Like, it's going to be good regardless if they shit on each other or not. So, like, let's just get to the fucking match. Like, you don't need to build that up anymore, you know? So, but lost art, you know, it's a lost art.
Well, that's the funniest part, is when you talk about the promos and everything's all security. 20 security guards ran in. I actually watched 5 grown men not be able to hold Stephanie Vaquer back. She split through 5 grown men. I was like, oh, those are definitely indie wrestlers from that state. And I'm going to remember those indie wrestlers that couldn't hold back a 120-pound female. But at the end of the day, it fucking just blurs the line. I'm running in. There's a fucking fight. We're going to break it up real quick. But then something heinous will happen, right? Because they want you to see they want you to see the heel almost injure or decap. The injury angle finally is going to happen, and there's nobody running out there to break it up. It's like, here we go. Liv Morgan's gonna finally go face to face with Bakur. 20 security guards hit the ring, and AEW's real bad at it, man. They're terrible at it. And then it's like, this guy just fucking pulled out a syringe and jammed it in literally through this dude's mouth and injected the CCs or squirting out this side, or he's drowning him in a fish tank. And they're just like, let it happen.
Yeah, let it roll.
No big deal. The ref's in there with his little gloves on, like, there's no rules. But then 2 girls or whatever, 2 guys are like, me and you are going to duke it out right now. And they're like, 20 local indie security guards from Georgia have slid in the ring. Yeah. We can't allow this to happen. But, I got a bag of drugs, and I'm going to fucking inject crack cocaine into your fucking arms on national television. And they're like, the referee's in there going, don't inject it. You only get 90 cc's in that big vein in the bicep. And then the match before is like, here's fucking Marina Shafir going face to face with Tony Storm. 45 indie wrestlers from Northern Cal. And then everyone's online going, hey, congratulations. That's my boy from down in the old local school in Southern California. Yeah. And he got fucking toasted. I watched Brock Lesnar the other day, and it was so funny. Did you see when he came out and just fucked up all those security guards?
Yeah.
He grabbed one guy, and it wasn't supposed to happen, and he overhead belly to bellied him, and he threw him so far that the other guy got taken out like a spare fucking bowling pin on a pickup. I was like, and then I talked to Illumide because he was one of the security one of the nights, and I was like, were you out there when Brock Lesnar just fucking mangled 20 dudes for no reason too? Because then he got in the ring with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins was like, ha, I tricked you. I lured you into the ring for Oba Femi to come out. I was like, what? You sacrificed 15 young indie workers to trick him to get in the ring so Oba Femi could come face to face with him? You're a piece of shit. I don't ever want to go to your wrestling school, and I don't want you to guide my career at all.
Yeah. Well, I want to know when breaking a table isn't a DQ anymore. Because every fucking Monday night, somebody goes through the announce table, and there's never a DQ. They just throw them in the ring, 1, 2, kick out, and continue to fucking roll with the match. Like, and it happens every fucking SmackDown or every Raw. Somebody goes through a table. I'm like, at some point, why are we doing it if it's not working? Like, the table, nobody gets DQ'd, nobody's hurt permanently. Like, why are we keep doing this shit? Like, but it's just. I don't know, man. It's just shit has changed so much. I heard you talking one day about punches, about how you can't throw a punch because it's illegal. I'm like, really though, it's not. Like WWE, they have fight offs and there's no fucking, hey, open the hand up anymore. It's like, so I don't know if it's fucking legal or not because they're doing this shit. They're hitting each other with punches and fucking kicks to the face and all this shit, and there's no fucking warning, or there's no fucking, hey, keep the hand open, or did you use no? They're sitting there fucking hockey fighting, and the refs just watching, So I'm like, so I guess punches are legal now. Like, what the fuck? When did that happen? Like, there's just so much shit now that just if I miss a month of wrestling, there's 10 different new fucking things that would never happen a couple years ago, and I don't know when the rules fucking changed, but the punch is one of them that gets me because I'm like, I see it every not every indie, just indie show, but every SmackDown and Raw. punches are just like any other move now, you know. And I'm just like, they used to be like how we protected the business, you know, like you didn't throw a punch because you would throw a shitty punch, you killed the business. Now these guys are just out there fucking throwing wild ass punches and shit, you know. The one girl on AEW just got kicked in the fucking face, like holy shit. He tried to like give the mafia kick and dude fucking knocked this bitch out. Like I was like, holy shit, like we need to fucking like slow this shit down. Like you legitimately kicked this girl in the face, and then you tried a few weeks ago on AEW too. The guy super kicked the guy in the face and fucking knocked him out. Yeah. You know, and I was thinking like, guys, like this is why this shit should be illegal. You know, like we're just fucking taking people's heads off. You know, and but there's no rules anymore. It's just like, you know, you watch a Moxley match, there's fucking hammers in there and fish tanks and all kinds of weird shit, you know, like what the fuck, you know, like why? I mean, it's not even really wrestling anymore. It's just like, it's all XPW, ECW shit, you know, like just grab your weapon and fight, you know, and just, I don't know. It's just, and I know that's weird coming from me because all the death match and shit that I've done, but it's different when you have one death match on a show that's the end of a 6-month feud as opposed to just, hey, it's, you know, it's Wednesday night, let's do one. You know, it's like, you know,
that's who Moxley reminds me of. He's like the Diaz brothers, man. You just walk up and poke them in the head, and they just start
gushing. Yeah, there was that one a few years ago where he took a bump in the corner, and the camera's on him, and he just fucking goes like this. Dude. The camera gets it, and nobody's on the headset saying, "Hey, you might want to look away from this." You know, and I was thinking like, you know, there's like when we did TV, like me and Paul were doing TV in Oregon. If we were going to gig, they'd say, hey, don't look at camera 3 because he's over there fucking gigging. Show the hard camera, whatever. We'd fucking gig it and then we'd go. But yeah, he was just sitting playing his day there and fucking we ain't even fucking trying to hide it anymore. Like, you know, like, you might as well give the guy your gig and just let him fucking cut you himself, dude. Like New Jack your ass, you know? Fuck. Like shit.
Hey, maybe they're not smartening up the camera guys. They're just
that's good. Look, this goes back to nobody being in charge.
Right, no shit.
Like, zoom in on Moxley right now. He's hurt. He's selling.
Right.
Oh my god!
Make sure you get his face. He's selling good right now.
He's so bad at it too. Like, I want to love John. I want to love Dean Ambrose, man. But he's just so fucking hypocritical of himself, and that's the problem too. These guys, I know they can go.
Yeah.
Like. I watched Darby Allin is actually a good worker.
Yeah, he's really good.
But yet he decides, you know what, Tony? I'm gonna climb fucking Mount Everest and stake an AEW. Like, buddy, if you really did do that, why would you let your top talent that you're paying all this money risk his fucking life?
Yeah.
To try and climb Mount Everest. Oh, Darby likes to do stunts. Darby's is he a fucking skateboarder? Because I've never seen one skate video where this guy's sliding or grinding a fucking handrail. I've never seen him do an actual kickflip. As a former skateboarder, as he throws his board down and rides it to the ring occasionally, he looks like one of those fucking longboard hippie dorks that can't fucking ride a skateboard anyways. You ever see those guys? They're like I'm a right-footed skater, so I would be pushing with my right foot. I love it when the right-footed skaters are pushing with their left foot and then hop on the skateboard and you're like, oh, this guy fucking just started learning how to ride a skateboard. They said it tonight. They're like, Darby's like, you're like, oh, he sacrificed his body for this company, and he started wrestling here and skateboarding. It's like, who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck if this guy skateboards at all. Like, never in my life have I pulled my dick out and started doing this because Darby Allin fucking skateboards. Hey, cool, bro. Leave your fucking skateboard in the back. If you're a babyface, it's a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
There's trucks and wheels and grip tape and everything else on it. You don't do any tricks. You know what he does? He fucking will pull his skateboard out and he'll jump off and like do like a look at me, man, Tony Hawk in the fucking down the half pipe. And I do that I don't want you jumping on me with your fucking skateboard. It's bad enough you're gonna fucking lay me on 10 chairs and climb up a 20-foot ladder and ask me to move too. Like that's the worst. That's the greatest part of it. He's like, 5 minutes remaining in this podcast. He's like, I'm gonna go up on this 20-foot ladder in the ring, and I'm gonna lay you down on this chair with 20 chairs with glass. And he goes, and I want you to move. And you're like, oh, cool. You're just gonna eat the chairs? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat the chairs. And then Tony Khan's back there going, Darby's a daredevil. And it's like, bro, by the time this kid's 35 years old, you just wasted millions of dollars because he's not going to be able to wrestle no more. But you know what Tony is going to do? He's going to pay for all his surgeries and keep paying his medical bills. So that's why you go to AEW, because Tony Khan's going to snort a shitload of coke with you, and he's going to pay you a shitload of money. And that's the type of guy I want to hang out with, honestly.
Well, like a lot of the shit that these guys were doing, I think when AEW first started, they were doing it and he was letting them do whatever because it was counterculture to what WWE was doing. So it's shit WWE would never do. Thus, in their mind, this is what's going to make us at their level because we're doing shit they would never do. In reality, they don't do that for a reason. There's a reason why people aren't diving off of ladders onto beds of glass every show, you know, because these guys are making millions of dollars. They can get hurt. You know, the one guy Phoenix broke his leg one year there on a regular show going through a fucking table, you know. So these guys, I think they just tried so hard to do this extra crazy indie shit that we were doing on the indies because we had to try to do the counter of what WWE was doing. And they just blew up into this thing, and that's what they became. But when they first started, yeah, they were fucking hot because they were an option to WWE. And then once people are watching it going like, this isn't what I really want to watch all the time, you know, and the numbers went down. And I mean, now, like, unless they go to England or something, their numbers aren't anywhere near WWE, you know, but I think they were just trying so hard to, in their mind, probably work their ass off, but just trying to be different than the WWE. And thus we have a fucking CZW fucking big indie company now, because these guys, there's no limit to what they won't do. And it sucks because there's some talent there, you know, but I can't watch these guys. Like, I love Nick Wayne. He's like a nephew to me, but sometimes I'm watching going, Nick, dude, like, you don't need to be bumping like that, bro. You know, but that's what they feel they need to do. And nobody's telling them, it's not even nobody's telling them you shouldn't do that. Nobody's telling them don't fucking do that. And that's how you have to be, especially as a promoter. If I'm investing money in you, and when I booked Titus, I booked him in Illuminate one night, and they're going, I'm like, what are you guys going to do? He's I'm going to fucking dive out. I'm like, no, you're not going to dive out. There's fucking 40 people in the house right now. Not that Illuminate is going to drop you, but why take that fucking risk? You're going back to Japan next week. Why are you going to take that risk? Well, what should I do? Do a house show or something. You don't need to fucking dive out onto them. You know, it's senseless, but there's not enough people telling these guys you shouldn't. They're not saying, and I'm not saying, no, you don't tell them you shouldn't do it. You got to tell them you're not going to do it. And if they're mad, get the fuck out and go somewhere else. But I mean, like, I have to watch my product and my guys in it, you know, like, I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. You know, it's my dime, you know. So if you think you know what the fuck you're doing, go somewhere else. There's 4 other companies in Sacramento. Go somewhere else. You know, like, I got to watch what I'm doing here. I got money invested in people, and I can't have you guys breaking your fucking leg because you wanted to do a dive out of the Jackrabbit fucking brewery. You know, it just doesn't make sense, you know.
Just the danger, man, that people are willing to put themselves through because they think it's going to gain them popularity or whatever. You know, at some point you're just like, I'm tired of seeing it happen all the time, because then for us it's like there's no believability anymore. It's like, oh, well, you just went through 10 tables and then you got up and beat the guy with a fucking destroyer or something, right?
Yeah. Why did you kick out of the 10th Canadian destroyer? You know, like, one should have been enough. You know, like,
oh, did you guys see that? Jerry Gigolo sent me. Actually, he asked me in the comment what I thought about it, and I'm like, I'm not even getting involved in this massive comment in the wrestling world. I'll message you privately. And I watched the guy and he pulled him. He was on the middle turnbuckle, and he pulled the guy up to him on the middle, and then he stepped out onto the rope and German suplexed this guy, right, folded him up right on his fucking head. And I'm like, you could have got a great injury angle out of this. Definitely won the match. And then he picked the guy up and hit him with this fucking, without even a pinfall, then hits him with this fucking sit out fucking like Liger bomb. All this was done. 2 injury angles, flat boards. We could have done all this. Guy could have been gone a month, come back as a big fucking red hot baby face. And they did all that for a false finish.
Fuck.
You haven't seen the clip?
Yeah, I've seen the clip. Yeah.
Oh, God. I couldn't believe it. Because I see what's the Commandos, the Stoner Brothers, and
Anton
Voorhees.
Yeah.
He does that exact same move. But when he does it and he like sells, or if he's a heel, he works the crowd for a while, or he beats somebody with it. But I don't think the double whammy is what got me. He's like, get on up here, buddy. Step out here, high on the neck, and then I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna run out. Boom, and the 1, 2, and the guy slips his shoulder, and the crowd goes, oh, and the guy's like,
yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do next?
Yeah, where do we go from here? Yeah,
Might as well slit his throat. Might as well slit his throat. I think that's. I'd love to see that in wrestling. I think that's what we're gonna see next in AEW. Moxley's gonna have Darby, and he's gonna be like, Darby, I don't like your toy machine skateboard that you hit me with because the grip tape wasn't cut right. And he's gonna pull out a knife and Darby Allin's gonna be like. No. And nobody's going to hit the ring to save Darby Allin. And Tony Khan's going to have a live fucking death on his hands and a massive lawsuit. And you know what I blame? You said it earlier. We're going a little bit over here. I blame the Attitude Era because you said it earlier. We got all the suck-its and the Nation of Domination and Stone Cold drinking beers, flipping up. Like, The Attitude Era was almost everything that wrestling shouldn't have been, and that's what was so appealing to us as fans. We're like, dude, these guys are out here doing this. Yeah. This guy's doing this and drinking beer, and it came from ECW. It really did. It came from ECW, and then the Attitude. So we got Paul Heyman to thank for this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was back there. He's like, well, we got this fucking Sandman guy, and he fucking. I remember we were at, and then I'll shut the fuck up. I remember one story. We were at a Halloween show at Maynard's at East Bay, and Sanders was playing the Sandman. And he comes up to me, and he's got the beer, and he's got the stick, and he goes, hey, Zack, do you have a cigarette I can bum from you? And I know Maynard's all about family show and this and that, and the doors are closed. And I'm like, yeah, you damn right I do. And I gave him a cigarette. And he goes walking down the stairs, and Christian's standing there. I almost killed Christian for this. And I go, hey, Sanders. And he goes, what's up? I go, do you got a light? And he got a lighter? And he goes, no. And I go, here, man. And I toss it down to him, and Christian goes, hey, bro. You're not really going to like that cigarette in this building, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm the Sandman. And I was like, and Christian goes, you better double check with Maynard about that. And I'm like, motherfucker, because all I wanted was for this guy to walk out with the fucking